and execute. It's going to be a big challenge against Argentina. They're a physical team. They're aerially really good, and they're good players, so it's going to be a lekker battle.
Some great words there for the intro. Hi guys, Howzit? Welcome back, welcome terug allemaal to my Afrikaans-speaking followers. Welcome back everyone, regardless of what language you speak or where you're watching from. Yes, after a little weekend break, we got to bask in the glory of the absolute hiding that we gave the All Blacks at Wellington. It's back to work this week. This week, the last two rounds will be the Pumas. First game will be at Kings Park in Durban. We've got the lineups, we've got some stats. But before we get into any of that, we've got to pay a few bills. So we'll be right back after this week's sponsor. Today's episode of the Fairweather Rugby Fan is brought to you by Matt Williams. He really hates the Springboks. I might have to update with my sponsor. I mean, apparently he doesn't hate us anymore because we don't use the 7-1, but we'll have to look into that. So before we even break into these lineups and the stats, let's take a look at the standings as they sit through 4 rounds of the Rugby Championship. 2 points separate the top from the bottom. And if you had told me 2 months ago, hey, the Wallabies are going to be on top going into the 5th round of this tournament, I would have been like, are you high? Did you eat paint chips? No, sure enough, Wallabies with 11 points going into this round. South Africa and New Zealand both tied up with 10, and the Los Pumas down there with at 9, with 9 points at number 4 spot. 2 points separate the top from the bottom. It's going to be decided in the next 2 weeks, folks. The next 2 rounds will decide the winner of this year's Rugby Championship. Of course, I would absolutely love to see the Springboks go back-to-back, but we've got to get through these 2 rounds first. Take a look at the recent history between these two sides. Well, we'll take a look at the history overall. This is the 38th time these two teams have faced each other. Obviously, the Springboks have the lion's share of that, 33 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. The last 5 games we've played with these guys have been quite interesting. Obviously, it goes back to last year's gut-wrenching loss in Argentina, a 29-28 loss to the Pumas, the only loss we had in the Rugby Championship last year. We did get it back a week later in Mombella, 48-7, just absolute hiding. Going back to August of 2023, we beat them 24-13 in Buenos Aires. July of 2023, we beat them by the score of 22-21 at Ellis Park in Johannesburg. And the last time we faced these guys was back in September of 2022 when we took them on at Durban and got the win 38-21. So anything can happen. We know that the Pumas have the potential. They always have. And I mean, that's what I've probably always enjoyed about them. They've always kind of been like that outlier, which, to be fair, the Springboks are kind of too, because there's really no other teams close to us. We don't have a regional opponent. We have to get on a plane to fly to our opponents. And Argentina is much in the same way. They don't even have they have professional teams, but they don't have a top-level club team in their country. Not a single one of their players is playing on this 23-man squad is playing domestically. Not a single one of them. And then on the flip side of the coin with the Springboks, there's so many of them that are not playing in South Africa. So let's go ahead and get into these. Felipe Cantapone has announced his 23-man squad. I will have to throw up the graphic, the Rugby Center. Thank you guys for the graphic, but you'll see when we get down where you guys made a little bit of a flub. Front row consisting of the captain Julian Montoya, Meko Fivas, and Joel Sclavi. Franco Molina and Lucas Paulos will be the locking combo with Pablo Matera, well over 100 caps, Marcos Kramer, and Joaquin Oviedo being the loose trio. Zebra Parma, scrum half, Gonzalo Garcia gets the start with Santiago Carreras. An all-premiership affair at the wings with Mateo Carreras and Rodrigo Isgro will be the wingers. Here's the typo. At number 12, Santiago Chacaberes will be the center with Lucio Cinti, his partner. And anchoring it all off at number 15 is Juan Cruz Malia. The Pumas have elected to go with a 5-3 split off the bench. Front row replacements will be Ignacio Ruiz, newbie Boris Wegner, and another newbie, Francisco Correa Marchetti. 2 locking replacements as Guido Petty and Pedro Rubio will be the lock replacements. And then a back row, they went with a 6-2 split. The back row replacement of Juan Martin Gonzalez. Simon Benitez Cruz, another newbie, will be the scrum half replacement, and a fly half replacement in Thomas Albornoz. What a good squad. They could do it. This is a good potential. A late change for the Springboks. I woke up to it this morning. Oxenche has gone out with a niggle, so Boan Venter will move in at that number 1 jersey with Malcolm Marks and Thomas Dutoy being the front row. Eben Etzebeth gets the start at number 4 with Ron Morkia. Super Sia Khaleesi will be getting the start in the number 6 jersey and captaining the side. His opposite will be Peter Steph Dutoy and Jasper Visa, who did absolutely lights out in his return against the All Blacks 2 weeks ago. Veteran Kobus Ranek will get the start once again at number 9, with Sasha Feinberg at number 10. Ethan Hooker once again gets the start in the number 11 jersey. His opposite partner will be Cheslin Colby, the 2-try man. A new starter at number 12 is Damian Dialendi, who retakes his regular spot. He will be lined up with youngster Kanan Moody. And anchoring it all off, finding form once again against the All Blacks, will be Damian Falemsa at number 15, a.k.a. Gaza. A 6-2 split coming off the bench as Marco van Staden replaces Boan Venter on the bench. And the number 16 jersey, yes, Marco can play the front row. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, a.k.a. the Swiss Army knife, can play all 3 positions on that front row. And Vilko Low will be the final front row replacement. Arhi Snaman will be the lock replacement and the final forward replacement. I'm going to start calling him the microwave because he's hot and ready. You just press the button, he's ready to go, and that would be Quokka Smith. Absolute menace at the breakdown when he comes on. Morne Vandenberg will be the scrum half replacement when he comes on. Mean Manny Libok in the number 22 jersey, and Andre Esterhuizen, the capability to play flanker but also play center. And that is your 23-man Springbok squad to take on Los Pumas. So, let's talk about the obvious here. The combinations that could potentially have at the back. Obviously, Grant Williams is hurt. Fossey is going to be out for a while. When we bring in Manny Libok, are we going to take off Sasha? We've got the ability. Kanan Moody can play multiple positions. Sasha can play multiple positions. Damian Falemsa could play multiple positions. There's also been the call for a lot of people, because if you don't follow Cheslin Colby in Japan, he plays fullback a lot in Japan. So you never know. 2 weeks ago in Wellington, we had injuries go out early. We recovered and became a better team with the guys coming in and playing out of position. Having Damian Falemsa at 12 and then moving to 15, I think was everything that he needed to have happen. I think that's why he found his touch again. It was so amazing to have a playmaker at 12 for so long and then move him back to 15. I think we have that same kind of formula here. We've got the young and we've got the old. That was what did so well against the All Blacks, was the mix of youth and veterans. We have that with this roster. We have those young guys, and I don't even want to say flashy, but different. They get out there. That Tony Brown ball that we've been getting told about for so long, they were able to go out and make Tony Ball a thing. Having the veterans up front, having somebody like Kobus Ranek to kind of be the fulcrum between the old and the new, is everything that this team can flourish with. We've got the experience up front. We've got the youth in the back. Now, like I said, at the end of that game, you could tell Sia, Peter Staff, the older guys, they were gassed. Not because they were having to bust their, but it was because the game was moving so fast they couldn't keep up. They kept up, but it's like they looked in the back and it's a bunch of kids. It's like when you send your kid out to play on the playground. He's going to burn all that energy off. That's what this young crew is in the back. We're sending them out to the playground. They're going to burn off their energy, and they're going to take it out on the opponent. The All Blacks simply could not keep up with the youth and the speed. Manny Libok was on fire, kicking perfectly. Yes, came in early for Sasha. But we saw what happened when we let the kid borrow the car. Say you're a dad. 17-year-old son, hey, Dad, I need to borrow the car. I want to take a girl out on a date. We threw the keys to the kids. And they went out there and hauled ass in the car. They didn't get in any accidents. They went out and hauled ass. They went and dogged your car out. They went and dogged, you let your kid borrow the car. It came back, but they dogged the shit out of it. That's what this youth for the Springboks is. We're handing them the keys to the car, and they're going there and driving the shit out of it. And I think that's what's going to make this work. That's what makes us, the Springboks, so deadly now, is that youth, that unknown in the back. Because you saw the free-flowing style. You saw the chip kicks. You saw the deep runs. You saw the youngsters linking up with the veterans. You know, we saw the chip kick all the way out wide to Peter Steph Toy, who tosses it off to Quokka Smith. We're seeing the youth show the older guys, hey, you know how to win, but this is how we're going to win. This is how we can win together. And it's a unique situation that the Springboks are really, really finding themselves in. So I am predicting a Springbok victory. I'm going to give them a 16-point victory, and they will get the bonus point. Now, on the flip side of that, the All Blacks are playing the Wallabies at Eden Park, and they have the return of Caleb Clark and Cam Roargard. I think it's an easy win for them at Eden Park. Next round in Australia, I think, is going to be a little bit more difficult. But this is going to matter. We need bonus points in both games to win this tournament. And I think we can do it. We've got this round in Durban, and then we head up to Twickenham in England to give Six Nations people a look at what real rugby is like. And if you think, oh, what a shit statement, go look at the attendance for the England-Fiji game before the World Cup and look at the attendance for the Springboks All Blacks game. That sold out. The England-Fiji game didn't sell out. So for as much as the Northern Hemisphere might shit on the Southern Hemisphere, it's obvious where the real talent lays. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Obviously, I don't have to get up in the middle of the night for this one, which I'm insanely happy for. And yeah, we'll do a post-game video. You guys, thank you guys for your continued support of the channel. Anybody that's donated money, I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys again soon. Cheers, guys.